Play chess. Once upon a time, long ago in India, there lived a king who loved the game of chess. The king often held chess tournaments which were attended by hundreds of participants, where the winner of the tournament can then have a direct chess match with the king. And if he can defeat the king, then he will get a prize of gold and gems. But after all these years, no one has been able to beat the king in a chess match. Until one day, the king heard that there was a very wise ascetic living in a village, who was great at chess, but never entered a tournament. The king sent a royal guard to invite the hermit to the palace. The king then asked, "O recluse, is it true that you are good at playing chess?" The ascetic replied, "No, venerable sir. Those are just the stories of the people in the village. I'm just an ascetic and I'm not good at playing chess." Seeing the expression of the hermit, who was very calm in answering, the king became curious and then said, "Look, I'll give you whatever you want. More than gold and gems, as long as you can beat me in a chess match." The ascetic replied, "Very well, if that is your venerable wish, I shall have a chess match with your venerable sir. If I win, I ask for a prize of some rice for me to take home." The king laughed. "Rice? Only rice? All right, how much do you want?" "Not much, your majesty. 1 grain of rice is enough for one of these chess squares, then the number is multiplied by 2 for the next squares, until these 64 chess boxes are filled with rice." The king frowned. "How many grains of rice? No kidding. Are you sure you don't want another gift?" The ascetic shook his head. "I am only an ascetic. A certain amount of rice is enough to meet all my needs." "Well then, let's start the match." And it turns out that the king lost the chess match. Without further ado, he ordered the guards to take a sack of rice, and he himself then began to put the rice in the chess boxes, grain by grain. In the first box he put 1 item. In the second box, 2 items. The third box, 4 items. The fourth box, 8 items. Up to the 10th box, the king had to put more than 500 grains of rice, 512 grains to be exact, in just 1 box. In order not to spill, the rice is then transferred to a container that has been prepared. But the king, assisted by his servants, continued to put the grains of rice in the next boxes. And on the 20th box, the king was stunned. He must put more than 500,000 grains of rice in the box, or the equivalent of approximately 12.5 kilograms of rice, and keep doubling in each subsequent box until finally the whole sack of rice is ready. The king then ordered his servants to take some more sacks of rice from the warehouse. In the 30th box, the king had to put 12.5 tons of rice in 1 box. And the royal maids were constantly going back and forth to the warehouse to pick up sacks of rice. And in the 40th box, the king had to put 12,500 tons of rice in 1 box. And as a result, not long after, all the rice stocks in the palace warehouse were completely depleted. Even though there are still a dozen more chess boxes that have not been filled. The king finally realized that, even if he gave up all the rice available in his kingdom, and also available in the neighboring kingdoms, he still could not pay the gift that had been promised to the hermit. It was at this point that the ascetic revealed who he really was, which turned out to be the incarnation of Lord Krishna. He then said that the king did not need to pay his debts at once, but it can be little by little over time. That's why, at the temple of Lord Krishna in Ambalapuzha region, India, since the 15th century until now, an annual festival is regularly held, where the local government cooks pulpayasam, which is a special food made from processed rice in large quantities, then distributed for free to all pilgrims present. In this way, the king and his descendants paid their debt to Lord Krishna. Wherever you are now, this is the best state to start the first step towards the goal. Thank you for watching.